Here we are. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new one-day special. And we really are going up the posh end this evening. We're off to Windsor and Belgravia, if you like. So it's almost like the West End has arrived in, what do we call here, the mid-end?
The mid-end.
The mid-end of Oundle, because John Lockwood is here with John next door and the fantastic, nice little side step from Christmas. If you are at the moment where you're knee deep in snowflakes and snowmen and whatever, you just need a sideline just to clear the mind again, then this is an amazing collection with the man himself, of course, Mr. John Lockwood. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
This is I'm absolutely brilliant, thank you. All the better for seeing this. I tell you how I watched on John's page, which is
Crafting with John Next Door and Crafts too.
Absolutely. I joined last night. I've got a privileged pass in because, like a lot of you, I got the email last night to say, oh, you can pre-order this before it goes on sale. And I clicked on the link and it went somewhere else. So I thought, well, I'm going to go and find out more. I'm going to go to John and find out. And I was well impressed by this. And one of the first things you said in your sneak peek video, and over 10%, by the way, of this stock has already sold out and gone, by the way. So just while we're chatting away, feel free to check out while we chew our gums here. One of the things that you said on your sneak peek video last night was, I've done a lot of Christmas, I love Christmas, my favourite time of the year for making card making, but I do just need a little diversion to one side just to... It's to
cleanse the palate almost. It's like having a sorbet in the middle of a meal.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And this collection does it absolutely beautifully, doesn't it? Because as always, being you, it's not just one simple mandala and there you go. It's a mandala, which you take the same thing in every direction. My word. How many dies?
There are, I think it's 22 dies in the whole collection. But we were saying, I think it's on one of them, and I get so stuck with the names because I name them and I only name them once I come to do the packaging. Yeah. So, and I think it's this one, which is the Belgravia. Yes. No, this is the Windsor. Yeah. It's the Belgravia, which is this one, which I'm just putting my hand on it as if you can see it, and of course you can't. But it's this one. There are so many combinations. There are 8 dies in it.
Here we are.
But of course you can put any of those 8 with any of the other 8, which gives you 8 times 8, which gives you 64 combinations. Okay, right. So of course you can put that with that, but it can go with that, or it can go with that, or it can go with that, or that and that can go together, or that and that can go together, or that and it's endless, to be honest. I mean, you get so much in there. But what I did do was to try and make sure that whilst they're both together and separate, they will actually match together. So if you can see the sizing, so that the Belgravia fits on the Windsor. Yeah. And if you want to, you can put the middle from one into the other, or take that centre into this one, or load that detail into this one. And we've already had a question, so if you can see there, if that and that, these are from 2 different sets, but there is a whole new combination. And again, if you aren't like me,
Windgravia.
Windgravia, I like that. But the names are actually nicked from the posh sofas at the store I worked in as a kid. Oh, so it wasn't a place then? Well, it is. Well, they are places. That's where I got my theme for the places from. But I thought these were really posh, so I went for the 2 sort of big names from those. Perfect. But again, names. Something new. But that's almost got. If you do that in Christmas colours, you've got Christmas in there as well. Yes, absolutely. There's nothing stopping you. And actually, you can see on some of the samples here, they are very metallic samples, so it can lend itself beautifully. Approaching 20% of the stock sold out and gone, by the way. Don't wait for the demos. Check out straight away. I say that because this collection went on pre-order via the email last night, and then the link worked from this morning, I know, and since then a huge amount of these went out on pre-order, and they are disappearing right now. There's something really clever with the corners in these as well that you've got to see, which John will talk to us about We've already had a question about whether these will coordinate with your box dies as well. The answer was yes, of course. Fabulous, of course, like we needed to ask, but we It's best. It says it was best
Always
to
good
check.
to check.
But they've been sized so they will fit with the square scene box. But they've also been sized and designed so that they will coordinate. If anyone was able to get the limited edition mandala set that I did, which was a one-off limited edition, that will tie in with this. They're completely different designs. It's not as if I've rehashed that. But if you've got that, that will take this even further because the sizes will match in with this.
Fantastic.
So it will match in with everything you've already got.
There is so much. It's ridiculous how much there is to go at here. Can I just, before I show you through the boards and everything else, can I just quickly tell you, there are some back in stocks and there are some other special things that are on the show, including a happy hour as well, which I will show you a little bit later, but you might want to shop ahead of those because, you know, it might be a while until we get to them. So just look ahead. It's the alphabet die in particular, wasn't it?
It was,
sold out and sold out and sold out. And I think, did you relent 18 months later?
18 months it's taken us to relent and bring that one back.
So that's a re-release after 18 months. It's on the show, the alphabet dies, for those of you who've been looking out for it for a long, long time. So let's look at Windsor first of all. And I love Windsor, and I love the shape of it. I love the simplicity of it. But when you look at all of the different shapes that you've got there, it's actually, you can take this as simple or as complex as you want to.
You can cut 2 of these and get a very simple card. Yeah. You can take 3 or 4 and get something quite complex, go for all of them, and get something that looks very, very intricate, but that's actually taken no work. You know, I want things to be as easy as possible. And this, to me, every time I look at it, I see a sunflower.
Yeah.
I see a sunflower in the middle, but, you know, as Emily, the producer's just said, she can see a sundial in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
I was
double
going
it
to
up
say,
for that.
These look quite navigational, these. I think they're really, really cool. I love them. And with the Windsor, there is also the Windsor Corners as well. Now, this is where things get really, really clever, John, isn't it?
Well, to me, I hope so. I'm never any good at actually sort of saying, you know, shouting about my own things. I love these because you've got 4 corners and you get 4 dies.
Yep.
Nothing's more frustrating to me than when you buy a corner die and you have to cut it 4 times.
Yeah.
Because by the time it's gone through the piece of paper's gone through the machine 4 times, it's wrecked.
Yes.
It doesn't want to. But the idea is there, you've got the 4 corners, but if you lay them out, you get that whole new shape. So the shape in the middle, it doesn't exist anywhere else.
I love that.
So that shape doesn't exist
super cool
in nature, but...
That's just the 4 corners cut away.
If you turn them off, if you do it on a rectangle, you get that shape.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So you're not just getting the corners, you're getting a brand new die-cut shape in the middle just from using the 4 dies together.
And that's really interesting to use east-west as well,
yeah.
Isn't it?
And again, you could double that and do it round. So you're getting a bonus on each one.
Yeah.
Not just the pattern building corners, you're getting the shape that's left behind.
It is superb. So, that's Windsor, Mom. Let's go to Belgravia now. And this is spectacular. This is why you will want absolutely everything that this collection has to offer. It's so affordable as well, by the way. Really, really good for what you are getting here, for the amount that you will use this. Now, this is the one I think, correct me if I'm wrong, well, actually, all of them do, but I think this is the one that you could nod towards Christmas very, very easily.
You could
really simply.
Very easily
it's
on
got
this
that
one.
kind of eau de poinsettia kind of vibe going onto it, but it is very grand, and it's very, the great thing about mandalas is they're all symmetrical, aren't they?
Yes, they are. This is fully symmetrical on all of the aspects of it. And the idea is, as you say, it is got a very, very regal look to it.
Beautiful.
It's got that very rich crown-like look. And what I really need to, what I should have done was, this is actually based on a picture that's hanging in our downstairs loo.
Oh, is it?
It is.
I tell you what, you get a lot of inspiration around your house, don't you?
We do, actually. Sam sort of put a gallery up.
Yeah.
In our sort of, in the smallest room downstairs.
That's a good idea.
And I have got a photo that I will send to the gallery that actually shows where the idea came from for that little heart shape.
Oh, brilliant.
With the sort of fleur-de-lis in it. That sort of heart with the fleur-de-lis came from something. So that's where I got the drawing from. And it built up to this. But this is the one where, again, I could fill 5 boards with the combinations. I've just tried to show you here the basic combinations.
Yeah.
But you can use any one of them with any 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 of the others to get completely different looks from it.
But the thing is as well, with those little fleur-de-lis, You can interpret those as little crowns, you know, with their jewelled points on the outside, because you've got loads of paper piecing opportunities here as well, haven't you?
It's like a tiara.
I love it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Now, there is also the Belgravia Corner. Of course there is. Again, Corners, yes, yes.
So you get 4 again.
Of course, you get 4. And again, you can make those really, really interesting shapes as well by just cutting out the corners from one single piece. This is really, really beautiful. So intricate. You could use those as photo corners as well. They'd be really, really cool, wouldn't they? And also with Belgravia, there is a... Now, this really looks like a crown, doesn't it? I mean, I would actually want to cut that out and actually use it as a little bit of a stencil. Do you know what I mean? Like a little crown stencil for a border.
Well, you can, but actually, if you cut them out together on the same piece...
Yeah. So
I'll show you this. That's the waste from cutting it 4 times into a piece of card.
Oh, look at that.
So if you look there, that's a whole new design. And what Art Angel did, she cut these out separate and said made them into little bugs. Oh. And she's used them as little bugs.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. You showed that on your sneak peek, didn't you? Have we got that sample with us tonight?
We have, and
I'm
not sure.
We'll come across it, I'm sure.
We will find it. Yeah. It is here somewhere in all the rest of them.
We'll come across it as we go through the show.
Promise.
I'm absolutely sure. Right. So you've got your 22 dies in total here as your one-day special. This is absolutely flying out of the door. I think a lot of people seeing the timing of this and saying, do you know what, this is brilliant, because I can incorporate it into my Christmas. But if you are a little bit knee-deep in Christmas at the moment and you're just looking for that just nice, relaxing meander down a different avenue, then you can with this. 168362 is your item number. A quarter of the stock. And of course, I don't even need to talk to you about how big a stock needs to be for a John Next Door one-day special. So that's a lot of these sets sold out and gone already. Now, John is very, very amazingly, as he always does...
No, I have to thank Peter for agreeing to this one, to be fair.
Oh, OK.
I have to thank Uncle Peter for agreeing to do this one.
Did he agree to it? Did he need persuading?
He was very good on letting us do this one, because we never normally reduce John Next Door dies on the happy hour.
Yeah.
But we said, well, we'll do it on this one. We'll do it on this occasion. And one of the reasons is this die will work with the mandala.
Ah, of course it will, yes.
So if you want to actually make that slide card, you can use the pieces from the mandala die set to actually fit in. So if I sneak you that little piece cut there, you can see that that actually will fit in to one of the cards as an aperture on the front.
Ah, yes, right. OK, well, let me show you the card concept and then I'll slip in the mandala. Right, this is, by the way, the price on this one, don't hang around, press pause if you're watching on Sky or whatever, and go and order it right now, because it's good for this hour only at half of its regular price. Watch how this works as well, because look, you open it up and then it reveals... Oh, that's like a dream come true. Now, let me put the mandala in for a second, and you can see that's the aperture that you could cut out there. I've got to show you some more examples of this as well, because it is just a dream, an absolute dream. In fact, the slower you open this, the more dramatic, the more beautiful it is. It's an absolutely superb die. So look at how it reveals and opens up the little back door. Well, the doors, actually. It's like the sliding doors. It reminds me of, you know, when on the big game shows, the host would reveal, the doors would slide open.
What's behind the doors, Miss Ford?
Brucey would come out on the generation game from behind these sliding doors. But look at that, just wanted to say, and as you open the card and it opens up, miss you, how sweet is that? And that's all from that one die set.
Everything you need is included in that die set. So you get the panels, you get the front, you get the fold section.
Yeah.
So all you need to do, you even get some basic apertures in that. So you can make an entire slide card like the sort of one you showed with the square or with the circle. You can make that from the set. You don't need anything else. But if you've got the mandala set or you get that, then it takes that somewhere else, because then you've got the mandala set. But there are videos online on YouTube showing you exactly how to make it. And I think there's a video as well showing you how to make this longer version. So it's just the same basic mechanism, we just extend it.
I just love it. I just love it. It's a squeaky one, this one, but I love it.
It's a satin card. It squeaks against it.
It's getting used to each other. It needs a bit of wear. Oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Again. Look.
But the fab thing is, when you close that, it's completely flat to postage to post, so that's a normal stamp.
Yeah.
So you put so much work into it, but it's still only going to cost you, I would love to say, I want to say every time I say a normal stamp, it'll cost you 60p for a first-class stamp, but I think they're probably over £1 now, to be honest.
I don't know what it is
I don't go to the post office
Not
very
for
often.
one stamp.
No.
You need to take out a second mortgage these days. That's my own personal opinion, not that of Hochanda Global Limited. 327 323 is your item number for your happy hour. How much gone? 20% of that happy hour already gone. Remember, that deal is good for this hour at half price. Take it right now while you can. Now, back after massive popular demand. It sold out non-existently at least 18 months ago. And people have been asking and asking and asking and asking, please, 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 please. And eventually, John said, right, OK, well, there's too many pleases now. We have to do it. Otherwise, we're going to upset lots of people if we don't bring it back. So here it is. So it is your bold alphabet die set. 3 dies there for you. It's the most amazing font as well. It's beautiful. Over 10% of those already sold out and gone. It's a big number as well, because this is the first time we've seen them in 18 months. It's a reissue. So it was a big number. There are queues on the telephone lines as well. If you are able, please do. Grab the app. You can download it on your app stores, whether you've got Apple or Android or whatever those things are. And you can go onto the computer as well at thecraftstore.com. But hold the lines. We'll be with you as quickly as we possibly can. But fingers crossed you get everything that you want. Right, John, enough of me.
Right, so I'm actually showing you the card I'm going to make for once.
Fabulous.
I know, I managed to pull it out from the samples. I love doing this. This is something that looks very, very complicated because you're changing from black to white. You're changing the colour across on all sides. But the dies make it so, so easy. And there's actually on this one a mistake, which I can, because of how I did it, and I've subsequently learned a better way to do it. So I will show you. There is actually, it double overs it there a little bit, which it shouldn't do.
Oh, OK.
Yeah, so, but I can show you the way to do it. But I love that. But this has got lots and lots of different tips and techniques in there. And I really think it's valuable. To me, when I get to do a show, it's not so much about showing you how fab the product is. I want to show you as well what we can do with it or what's different or teach us something.
That's
half of the reason we tune in, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I'm going through samples at the moment, so finding such a wide variety of different things that this set can do, because it's so good. And we could be here for 5 hours non-stop. We could definitely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, first of all, this is the largest one from the Windsor. And I'm just going to put it onto a square of card. And this is actually cut to 5 inches. So you can see how this would actually work on the square seam box. And it would sit in there. So I'm just going to tape it down and I'm going to run this through now. There's no complex things in here, but you've got quite a few little sections. So I'm going to use my metal shim plate just because there's a little bit of detail. And I'm just going to run it through my Kaleido. Every single die in the collection will fit in an A5 machine. So you don't have to have a big A4 machine for anything in this collection. Brilliant. So
it cuts out the circle. So again, that's a layer on its own. We could put that onto another colour and drop a different colour onto it. But we'll just take this one out, give it a flick, and we get that beautiful pattern and all that shape. But obviously, I need to have black behind that, don't I?
You do.
And I don't want black behind it. In a square piece, it needs to be a circle. So the question I always ask myself is, how would I do that? I would have to have a circle die the same size, or I would have to stick it down and then cut it out by hand. And I'm sorry, life's far too short.
As always.
What we do is give it a bit of a spray glue into the magic box that's hidden down there.
Yeah.
I'm not spraying Derek's shoes, honestly. And all you do is take the die and click it back into place. So exactly the same die, we click it back in, and it will just slot itself back into it. We tape it down, and this time I'm going to run it through on low pressure.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with my base plate, my Kaleido, my 5mm plate, and just my 3mm plate. And you know, I'll bring my machine in to show you. You know, normally we'd say, what you do with most die cutting is you go forward, and then you come back, because you might as well and get an extra cut.
Yeah.
We don't want to with this, because doing it on a basic cut, Can you see now, look, that falls away. That hasn't cut through because it's too detailed when it's actually slotted into there. So there.
Oh, look at that.
And it's perfect, front and back. So you're not having to cut it by scissors. You're not having to get another nesting die. You're just doing it like that. So there I've got my first one. And what I would do is cut this in both colours. So I've got it here cut in black, and I will do that in white in a second. But I want to go down to, I would repeat them, because this will make you 2 cards that are reversed. So we've got that panel, and we want to go to the next layer. So I go and have a look and go, right, okay, what's my next layer on that going to be? Well, I need to have a black layer on that, don't I? So I take the next layer in the set, pop that on to a black one, onto a piece of black, and I would cut this. Now, normally, I thought I'd got everything cut, but obviously I hadn't, so there we go. So we'll just run that one through.
Gosh, John, it's so busy. Congratulations if you've got yours so far. The phone lines are going bonkers. The website's going bonkers. I'm not at all surprised. It's so beautiful. 30% of the entire one-day special stock. It's a big number, as only you can imagine with
and
John.
I think we've not, there isn't a reserve.
No,
there isn't a reserve stock.
We've already anticipated and juggled and done everything. We've done all of that already. So that would be a long time coming back, if it ever did.
If it did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't reorder.
No.
It took 18 months for us to agree to reorder the alphabet die.
Dies,
and that is because Peter said, I've had so many people asking, let's redo it.
Yeah.
We don't reorder. John Next Door dies are invariably a limited edition in a way. We do that run.
Keeps it special, doesn't it?
Well, it does to me, and it also stops. I would like people to see it, like it, and get it because they like it, not sort of be ground down over 6 months.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to think they've got to get everything.
Yeah.
So we do the collection, we launch it. When it's gone, and then people don't feel like they've got to catch up.
Well,
and sort of, oh, I've not got JND 167.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's about what you like, and that's, I think, doing a limited run helps with that.
Also, if truth be told, John doesn't want to be walking around a show in 7 years' time and see himself in the whoopsie bin.
Do you know, to be honest, yes, you're right.
That's what it is.
It is entirely that.
No, but I can completely appreciate and understand that.
Well, it's actually, as I was saying, I was at the Harrogate show on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I said to a lady, there's nothing more annoying to me as a crafter than paying full price for something to see next week, next month, 3 months down the line, it on there at half price. Yeah. Because it's awful. So we try and make sure we can avoid that wherever possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we always try and give a time limit. So I need a detailed one now. So what I do is I take the detailed die, and this doesn't have an outside cut line, so you can repeat it, so you can cut it into card. I take a long piece of tape, pick it up, take the outside line, that lets me hover over, just like that. Put that down, and I'm just going to cut that one. And again, this has got detail. It's got a lot of detail in it, and I just don't like to be disappointed. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to put my metal shim on to help, and it's also really useful if I don't. When I'm using white card, invariably, if possible, I will use my metal shim because it stops my plates marking the white card.
Yeah, for the finish.
And even though I try and keep a plate clean, that's the cleanest one I've got, and that's really not clean.
Well, for John Lockwood it is.
It is for me. The other one, that's the other plate for this machine. Yay!
Yay!
But if I use the metal shim, it stays a lot cleaner.
John, I can't find that bug sample. Are we sure that we've got it here?
We must have.
Because you had it on
I had it last night, so
on your
it
sneak
must
peek.
be in.
It's got bugs on the front. We will find it.
It is. I'm really sorry if we can't find it, Art Angel. It is absolutely beautiful. Just need to grab my pokey tool. There we go. So again, you see by doing that, all these little pieces come out. I'm cutting this in Crafts 2 linen card, and this is 250 GSM. I've cut up to 300 with these with no problems at all. And I have got another little tip I've just learned, which I think I might have shown on a video. You know when you get some bits at the back that hang?
Oh, yeah,
Can you see there that they're hanging out?
Yeah.
If you grab your glue eraser.
Yeah.
You have to try and flick them off or cut them off.
Yeah.
Use your glue eraser and just use that over the back and it will take them off. So there's some there, let's just pop them out. Can you see how they've not quite cut through? Yeah? Use my glue. Oh, watch this. It works every time at home.
Except
and it won't work when
telly.
I'm doing it on telly. I will show you this more times. There we go. Instead of tearing it, there we go. It just pulls that little piece off. I've got another one now. Would do. Oh, there, and there's 2 more. Yeah. It's also good for cleaning down my desk. So there I've got a white level.
Fabulous.
So I need to actually cut a smaller black back for that. So something you want to run through for a second while I just
I do want to quickly tell you as well that there's some wonderful card which is on the show as well, the black and the red card, which we'll get to later. Can I just show you a couple of samples actually, because I think these are genius, absolutely genius. We'll put the detail of the card at the bottom of the screen. Ah, we found it. Oh, sorry, I'll hold that and I'll reach out there and magically the other one will appear. Found it. Yay. Here, this sample by Sheila Metzeler, Shelag.
Yeah. You have been watching our videos, haven't you?
I honestly, and I think that's such a genius way of, again, using glitter there for a lovely sort of birthday card. It's really cool. And she's doubled up the corners to make smaller squares there, hasn't she?
She has. So what she's done is she's cut the corner dies 4 times.
Yeah.
But you've got 4 of them, so it's not that pain to do.
Yeah.
And she's overlapped them to make, actually, I think she used them twice. No, she's used them 4 times.
4 times, yeah.
On a smaller square, which gives you a whole new shape again in the middle.
Yeah, it's stunning. I love it. And this is the famed sample from Art Angel. Right now, these bugs are made out of the inner bit of the Belgravia border.
That's right. Yep. And
How
they do look like bugs.
Yeah, they're really cool. I remember seeing them on your video. It's cool because they're so exacting in size as well. You'd have great fun colouring those up. Now, just to talk to you, as John was before, about the layering of these. This is the Windsor, all layered up beautifully by sample unnamed. Is that one of yours, John?
That's one of mine.
Ah, well, there you go then. Must be one of John's if it has no name on it. I love just very, very subtle. So you can go very, very subtle on your colour tones here, can't you?
It just felt so autumnal to me. And as I said last night in the sneak peek, I love Christmas. I love designing Christmas. I love making Christmas. I could do it all year. But sometimes you get to a point where you say, I need a break.
Yeah. Pack
away the glitter and just to play with these browns and beiges, whereas when that's what you're seeing on the streets and, you know, on the hills and everything around us is beautiful.
And then from that, because we were talking about just how sophisticated this is, so use a little bit of holographic mirror card at the back there, mix up your glitter cards, use your fabulous blacks as well. This is another one by Sheila Metzeler, Shelag, and I love it. I just love it. Love. And again, if you really want to go super, super Christmas, how about red, gold and black there together there? Beautiful. Again, play with those corners. You know, work with them together, layer them up. It's just brilliant. I mean, right now, listen, I need to talk to you about the happy hour as well. Now, where did I put the happy hour? It's here somewhere. I got it. There's so much going on here tonight. Now, this is that lovely die that does the open door for you on the cards. I'm going to get the squeaky one. Right, 40% of that sold out and gone. Let me just make sure this is the right way because I just love this. This is so showbiz, this. It's so brilliant. So it's the die that will make the mechanism for this lovely sliding door. So all you need then is you get apertures within the actual die set itself, but then you can make different shaped apertures yourself.
So you get circles, I think it's circles and rectangles in there to make the apertures in there that you want to. But the idea is it works with other John Next Door dies, so it works perfectly. I think it's shown on here with the Oundle and the Woodford, which you know, named for Oundle where we are at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But it will work with the Windsor and Belgravia. It's size, so it will work with those as well, some of the smaller dies in those sets. So it's perfect to go with the Mandala collection. And
they're so cool. I'm just going to show you one more of these made up as well, because they are just brilliant and they're so dramatic. It's just like, ta-da, nobody else has got a card like this in your life. Look, ta-da, you open it. I love the whole sliding door thing. as it happens. Yeah, you have to do the ta-da as it opens. It's the door opening bit.
I want that as a ringtone.
It's the door opening bit that, for me, is the most magical part. Now, John's just made a very, very simple one out here, out of like a sort of marbly kind of card, just to show you how the mechanism works. So, of course, you open up and ta-da! So you can put anything in there.
Everything that's on that card is included in the die set. The aperture and everything. So you don't need another die to do that at all. How
much of the stock of that has gone? 40% of that stock has gone. It's only half price for this hour as well, which happens very, very seldomly with the Craft 2 dies. But you know, John and Peter, they like to treat me in. John likes to talk Peter into a nice little deal as well. Oh, go on. It is a one-day special after all. So let's do it. Right, back to John.
It's almost like you're listening in on my phone calls. It's a case of, come on, we're getting towards the end of the year now. And we've got that delivery coming in next week, and we need that little bit of extra space again, don't we?
Yeah.
And it would be nice, wouldn't it? Because it'll match with this.
Well, and you know, there are a lot of demands on people's finances at this time of the year as well. So we like a deal, don't we?
We do. I mean, it's one of the reasons why we did this whole collection. We really thought about splitting it into two.
Yeah.
And then when we were able to, Peter gave me the pricing on it, we went through it. When we realised we could do the whole lot at sort of just around the £50 mark, I thought for this time of year, that's really good.
Perfect.
And we always try and keep the John Next Door, you know, around that price if we can. Mm-hmm. You know, I always think like Tesco, little and often, and every little helps.
Absolutely. Other supermarkets are available.
Yes. What we've got to mention, Aldi, Lidl, Asda, there you go. Mentioned three more.
Make one up then.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've cut out a piece of black. Okay. And what I actually did for that is I cut it out of the middle of this piece. So can you see, so I'm already, so there's something else completely different.
That's gorgeous.
Totally different. So I could stick that onto the white. So I've got that one. But this is one of the things I love about this. If you look there, the mandala works, and it's almost like a flag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it was designed, to be a star.
Yeah.
But again, just by changing the aspect of it, you make it very different. So I've got there. Now, what I'm using is, because I did say to people when I did my tool show, I would try and bring this, and we have managed to get this on the show. This is my water media mat that I use all the time for my stamping, colouring, everything.
Okay.
Because I don't think you've seen this. I'll have to.
No.
It's basically silicon. So it takes heat up to 250 degrees and it goes in the dishwasher to clean it.
Oh, amazing.
So it's like an ink blending mat, but this, I don't think this is on the show.
Therefore, it basically cleans itself. If it goes in the dishwasher, it cleans itself.
It does clean itself, yeah. What you do is, it's magic at our house. You throw it into the kitchen and it comes back 2 or 3 hours later spotless.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, but
we all need
the thing is, I had to keep moving that away to do my crafting.
Yeah, right.
But then I discovered the Crafts 2 A4 mat
goes inside.
Goes inside and gives a smooth surface.
So you can just carry on.
So you can carry on, so you can have your messy mat out all the time with your mats. So I said, well, can we bring this on? And they said, well, what else are you using? I said, well, I use our rules. Because my mum would kill me if I called them rulers. Because a ruler rules a country. This is a rule. And I know that they're called rulers everywhere, but
including
you know, my mum always told me. So, but this is I use this one constantly. This has got a metal edge.
Okay.
So what I can do is now I can actually cut on the mat, and I can cut these. And the first time I made this card, I used my guillotine, and I went off. And even in a paper trimmer, you can go off.
Yes.
Because a shape like that in a guillotine doesn't work very well. So it's better to go old school.
Yes.
And I need this cut exactly in half, so I can put that and that together on there.
I'm glad you said that about a guillotine, actually, because I've always thought, hang on a second, I want you to be as straight as a die.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always seem to be.
I mean, I use ours. I've used this one. This is brilliant. But when I'm cutting through this, I'm cutting through 5 layers. And it does it all the time. When I've got a circle or something on there, and it literally, you can see there where it went off. I had to trim it. Or on the original card, I'll bring this one in.
Yeah.
Can you see there where it went off?
Just drifted off, yeah.
It drifted off. And they do.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with that. It's what we're doing.
It's just the drag of the layers, isn't it?
It is. They pull down.
Yeah.
So I found a knife was easier. So what I can do is take this, put it together. And I am old school when it comes to this. So I put it down.
We've got the bundle on the screen, by the way, for the mat that John's using right now with a knife and the rules.
Yeah, because you actually get this one, which is the straight edge, and I'll show you through the shows how I use this, because I use these little 1/4 inch marks on it.
Yeah.
I use those when I cut in them. If I cut a design in the middle of a piece of card and I need to straighten it up, this is what I use. Because I use one of the lines against the centre to get it right and even. But now watch, I can go through that easy and on here. And the great thing is, if I was, say I was, you know, I'm doing that in black and white. This is the other thing I love about this. Can you see, I want to cut this black one next. This is where they were so clever. So look, they're perfect halves. Okay.
Right.
I'll turn it over, it's pink on the other side.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's double-sided.
Yeah, so it doesn't go in disguise.
No.
Brilliant.
Because that was one of the things that used to frustrate me, because they're always green. These
true.
mats were always green.
Yeah.
And I need to cut this. Can you imagine trying to cut this? And I know some people could achieve that in half, in a guillotine or a paper trimmer. Yep. But again, I take the metal edge rule, because I think we've included a piercing rule and 2 metal ones
there is,
in here. Basically give you everything. But look, again.
Good price, hey, as well, because, you know, even for a basic hobby knife,
there we go.
You can pay the best price of £10 plus for one that you will trust. Yeah, you can get cheap and cheerful, but you won't trust it. So you'll want to spend a bit more. And
the hobby knife, the blade comes out.
Oh, so you can...
We do the blades separate, but
right.
the blades are a standard scalpel blade. I think it's a size 11.
Right.
So you can go to your local stationers and get if you can't get one from us in the little pack, you can. And I think it's important to say,
yes, yeah, definitely.
You don't have to have our blades. That's always annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that, but I've got to buy your blades, have I? Oh, right, I'm tied in forever.
Yeah.
So what I've got now is, I've got my 2 halves.
As a business, though, you could learn something from that. You know that, John?
Yeah, I know, but no.
Hey, problem is, John's too much of a crafter.
Everybody involved in crafts too is a crafter.
Yeah.
That's what's genuinely so fabulous about it. Everyone is a crafter.
Yeah.
That's where it's come from.
And it is good to stick to those principles as well, because, you know, you are at one with your customers then, aren't you?
Well, we're all the same. We're all actually in the same boat.
Yeah.
So what I've got is, I've already done some pieces of this because I know that this was going to take ages. So I've already cut out the corners, 2 in white, 2 in black. But I obviously did 4 in black, 4 in white.
Of course.
So these are left over from my first card.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I cut the backgrounds as well. So I'm just going to start assembling these, if that's okay.
Yes.
If you can run through something a second, because I need to see if I can find if I've put my foam tape in.
I've got some embossing folders to talk about, because they are some of the most glorious that you haven't seen yet, actually. Well, not on this show, at least. These are absolutely beautiful. We've had these sell out in the past, but I think the board will do all the talking that it really needs to be honest with you. So these are your press cut 3D embossing folders. You've got the quilted blocks, you've got the braided lines, and you've got the spiral flower there. And you can see just how much, I always think sometimes with embossing folders, I think, oh, you've either gone far too fussy sometimes, embossing folders, too much detail. And if it's going into the background, you think, well, actually, you know, you didn't really need that much detail. Simple and elegant, but do that well. Do that with lots of depth. Do that with lots of texture. You know, don't give me 300 flowers when I'm covering most of them up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, you've got something here which is that's so stylish. That's so going with the Windsor and the Belgravia, isn't it? It
does. It's actually, Jane looked at these, and we had sold out of them, and they found more, which I didn't know. When Jane was hunting through the warehouse, we thought, and I said, well, people were desperate for those last time. But what we actually were able to do, so we found them, and Jane went, I found these, they're perfect with the mandalas.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect with those mandalas you've got coming in. So we held on to them, knowing that they would match so well, because they've got the same feel and the same style.
They are lovely.
I mean, I know I think you've got a card there where it's been done in the red gloss card.
Yes, let me show you.
But it just ties it all together, and it stops the background looking quite so plain when you're just using a simple mandala.
Look at that. It is so, so beautiful, so, so elegant, isn't it? just simple. It's almost like flames coming out as well, just very, very subtle. It's so elegant and it's so deep and rich. I love it. 048053 is your item number. Now, bearing in mind that these are very, very in demand, and it was only purely by chance that these were found.
Yes, genuinely.
You've got a saving of £9 there. So that makes it, what, less than £5 each. It's brilliant. So originally it was 24, 9, 18, 27. So it's about a third. It's almost like it's almost like you're saving £3 on each one there.
Because they are 6x6.
Yes.
3D folders. So they're not the sort of normal sort of 5x5 size or anything like that. They're actually a 6x6 size.
And you will use them. You absolutely will use them again and again and again. And they're wonderful. Right, need to move on to the alphabet. Now, there's another story to the alphabet as well. Now, I haven't seen this before, and even if you're an avid follower of John and everything he does with Crafts 2 and John Next Door and everything else, maybe you've never seen these before either. In fact, nobody's seen them for at least the last 18 months because they've been long since sold out, gone, and to all intents and purposes, retired and extinct. But so many people were coming to Crafts 2 and to John and saying, please, can we have the map? Please, please, pretty please, can we have the map? Will they ever be coming back, those? And, you know, 18 months of that, and then eventually they relented. And so these are back. And already a massive amount of the stock has already sold out and gone of these, 20% of the stock. It is a big number because it's a reissue. And when you reissue, you need to reissue in big numbers when you're a business like John's. It's amazing. How brilliant is this? And look, is that this mandala, John, or is that a different one?
This is the mandala from the show. So
See,
this is Windsor or Belgravia, but they look so different.
Don't they? Just the way that's been given, I presume that's like an inky background, isn't it? Or, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just die cut. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
There's so much more you can do when you think, sometimes you look and think, oh, is that a bit of a basic shape? It's not. When we start to play with it and the different cards, to me, if you can take a die and cut it in 4 different types of card or look and get 4 different looks, it's paying its way. Yeah,
it's value for money, isn't it? So if you want the alphabet dies, please do be quick. 762019 14.99. They're a really good size, that font as well. Sometimes fonts can be way too big or way too small. I think they are just perfect. Lovely with the drop shadow as well. John, back to you.
Right, so what I've done is, I'm just going to glue this together. I've actually trimmed down. So I've added my corners on, and basically what I've done is I'm going to rotate it around. Can you see I've gone black and white on black?
Okay, yeah.
So I've made this twice, but can you see that shape?
Love it.
That's a new shape that matches with the mandala.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got white on black, or we can have black on white. So all I've done is rotated and cut them. So the easiest way to stick these together is to cheat.
How?
Turn them over, get a piece of ticky tape, because I have to call it sticky tape because we're not allowed to call it sellotape, are we? So.
Well, not unless you say others.
Yeah. So, but there you go now.
Well, that's almost too easy, isn't it?
It is, but it is easy. I've done exactly the same here on the centrepiece that I cut.
See, that's very sunny now, isn't it?
Suddenly, it does have a look of a sun.
Yeah.
I'm going to go glue around, and I'm going to match those. Can you see that?
Sounds like a magic eye picture now, isn't it?
Because it's transferring between colours.
Yeah.
So we'll put that on, and obviously, so you can see there where I've put the ticky tape.
Yeah.
On all of the layers. So we go white onto black, match the lines again. But how much? So this is actually going to be better than the original because I used the knife to cut through the middle. So we've got our centres here.
Yes, and when you first showed us, we were kind of like,
what are you doing?
That looks like a nightmare to make.
It's
not. It actually really isn't, is it?
So we just match those pieces on. So I don't even bother with this one with the ticky tape. We're just going to. But I cut that. But look how that matches. Those are the ones that I cut with the knife. So I didn't have to worry because I cut them both together. They match together. I did the same with the centre die. And we put that one on again and we rotate it round into the middle. So we go black, but doesn't it now start to really mess with your eye?
Yeah.
It really does look weird. So I've got here a little square of white just to secure it, because I don't want that to be on the back. So a little bit of the craft artist glue, and that will show that final layer of black on white, or white on black, and then onto a card blank, and we're done. And you can then add flowers or anything else that you want to. But to me, that's got such an impact as it is, and will do for so many occasions. So just put that one on, and I'll hold it up and put it up straight, and you can see then that I'm playing with your eye.
I love that. Don't look at it too long, because you'll go cross-eyed.
It does kind of, but you see how much better that one is than the original, because it goes off.
Yeah. See, now
so I learned as I was going along.
See, that's just given me an idea about making decorations with those as well, because you could make decorations with these. And yes, they would be good for Christmas, but they'd be good for lots of other things as well. I love what you can do with these. This leapt out at me, because this is the, I think this is the, is it the Belgravia Corners?
This is the Belgravia Corners and the Belgravia border.
Yes.
Because the Belgravia border was designed with a 45-degree angle. Me and my maths again.
Oh, so you can make a perfect square.
So you can make a perfect square
Amazing.
Out of it.
Isn't that cool? I mean, everything about this whole set and all the different accents and ways that you can take it. If you want to glitter it up, you absolutely can. See, I'm thinking in a design like this, because this is multi-layered, I would love that to be, and this is a shelag, isn't it? There we go, that way around.
It is, and that one's got a little secret to it. Can you see how the corners in the middle don't quite marry up? They're not going to the point.
Oh, yes.
I think you should just reposition them so that they do.
Oh, do you know what? That's so funny, John, because I was just about to say...
And I make a great windmill.
No,
I know you didn't know about that.
I had no idea about that, but I thought, actually, if you put a Brad in the middle of that, then you could move, and lo and behold, Shelag had already thought of that. Amazing. Look at this. I love the colours on this one. This is by Maxine Payne, because all the samples I keep picking up are Sheila's. And there's lots of other samples here as well. I do that all the time. I gravitate towards one person's samples all the time for some reason. And Maxine's actually replicated the outside on the inside as well. We're very, very clever. So she's gone off the edge of the card on the outside, so she's done it on the inside as well, which is just superb. Love, 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 love. I'm going to show you one more for now and then let John show us some more. I think this is one of yours, Mr. Lockwood, is it?
It is. That is one of mine.
Very, very different colour theming here. Very calm, very zen, very aqua, like this.
It is. I made that yesterday, and I actually made that for fun.
It's gorgeous.
I made that yesterday afternoon because I wanted something to do, and I'd finished it and sort of closed the show, as I call it.
Yeah.
And this was me crafting for me.
Love it.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I thought, well, I'll put that on, I'll add that one onto the show. But it was literally me just playing with bits on my desk for me.
It's super elegant, though, and I love that ink work there. And that's using that wonderful embossing folder as well.
It's a spiral flower in there, yeah.
Beautiful. Right, let's talk about where we are now on this one-day special, because we are 48 minutes into the first live hour of the one-day special, and 40% of the entire one-day special stock. And listen, I know the numbers behind all of this. I know the numbers behind it. It's taken a lot of numbers to get to 40% of that stock sold out and gone. It is a well-stocked one-day special, let me tell you. But there you are, every single time. I think maybe a lot of people are in the same kind of headspace as John is, that everything's about Christmas right now. And I love making Christmas cards and whatever, but I do need a little break from that. And I do need something that will just take my mind and my inspiration, and actually I'm just going to put the glitter cards just to one side, just for a minute, just to have a little break, a little calm space of crafting.
One of the things that I think I said this last night, and it's one of the things that I used to do an awful lot, is now we are held to leather making our Christmas cards. Even if we've ignored all the warnings about June and July that I do every year, because I make all my samples then.
Yeah.
This is the time of year we're actually doing it. I want something to look forward to when it's finished.
Yes.
I want something to know that that's waiting for me and I can put that away.
Yeah.
I want something I can play with into November and December when I'm that fed up with glitter and Christmas that I think I don't actually want to get to the time of year.
Yeah.
And that's what this collection, why we held this one back. because to be fair, this has been in the warehouse a while.
Yeah.
But I've held it intentionally, and that's what I love about Crafts too. They'll let it come in and say, right, when's this going? I'll go, it's going at the end of October. Oh, right, okay. But because I knew that this was one I would look forward to playing with once I'd made my Christmas cards.
And just remember, this is by no means a one-dimensional. When you see the word mandala, I think some people do think, oh, well, that will just be one die that does one thing then. And I just want to be very, very clear that this is, well, John's designed it for a start, so there's no way he's going to let that happen, ever, is it? He's never going to give you just one die that does one thing, ever. That's never going to happen in the history of John Lockwood. That's never going to happen. But you've got here so many different directions, so many different layers, so much level of detail, so many different possibilities, and interchangeability between the two mandala sets themselves, between Windsor and Belgravia. You are getting both of them, plus you are getting your borders, plus you are getting your corners for both sets, for your Windsor and for your Belgravia as well. Please check out yours as quick as you can. 168-362 is your item number. Oh, blimey, that time is running away, John.
Right, so I'll be quick.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I've got a piece of the white linen card again, and I'm just putting down the border. This is the Belgravia border. I will learn the names by the end of the show. I will. It's hilarious because I named them. And you will actually find a very good surprise if you do get the one-day special. Yeah. When you turn over one of the packets, you will see a picture of a card with a new die that isn't out yet on it. Should I? Because I got it wrong.
Should I show them?
No, I think...
Should we show them in the 8 o'clock?
We might show them in the 8 o'clock.
We might show them in the 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because I basically got it wrong. So you can tell I do the packaging because I put completely the wrong picture on. Totally.
It's almost like an unintentional sneaky peeky.
It is. It wasn't intended. Trust me, it wasn't intentional.
And how far away is that die?
It's the end of November.
Oh, OK. So quite an advanced preview then.
So what I've done is I've cut the Belgravia border. Yeah. And normally you would expect me not to have a line there.
Okay, yeah,
so that you could extend it. However, if you do that, it would not work as a frame.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do. And the other thing is it is that detailed that there is no room to put any release holes in.
Okay, yes.
So that's why I was tapping it to get it to come out.
Right.
But I wanted to show you, so that's the waist, which I love.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And again, you could, if you think you can do that around a card 4 times, because it's a 45-degree angle, and create a negative frame as well as a positive. Yeah. All you do is put those 2 points together to get your different pattern or your bugs. So I'm just going to cut these together. It's a detailed die. So in with my metal shim, on with my plate and run that through. And that's what will give you those beautiful bugs that...
I'll show you the bugs that it can create for you. Love these. These are so cute. You'd never have thought something as creepy crawly as this could come from something
as elegant,
posh as that. That's brilliant, though, isn't it?
Honestly, well, I tried to do it posh. To me, it's like having fish and chips with garden peas instead of mushy peas.
I can't do mushy peas. There's something wrong about it. But remember,
where in the country do you? No, I'm scandalised.
I live up north, but I am a southerner. You see. See, I'd have no peas whatsoever, if truth be told. Peas are just a green waste of time to me.
No, you've got to have mushy peas.
Why? They're just a waste of time.
Yeah, so, no.
No gravy on chips either.
Oh, no. Fish, chips, mushy peas and gravy, or curry sauce. Yorkshire through and through.
Vinegar alone for me.
No vinegar. But can you see there, if I show you on the overhead, you could continue that, but that is a beautiful die-cut pattern on its own. That's something that I know our Ali Reeve would really play with.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, that's something she would, with the little bugs and things like that. I'm going to end up having to see if there's a spare, aren't I, for you, Ellie?
If you did that in silver mirror card, it would almost be like mayoral chains looking, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. It does have that look, posher, doesn't it? Even posher. So, I'll show you very quickly. I've already cut 4 of them, but you see how easy they are to cut. Yeah. And I have done a video of this, and our wonderful Angel June Smith is doing a manual write-up for the videos as well, for anyone that struggles with that. Okay. So all you have to do is literally, the easiest way is to place it down, one down like that. Yep. Spray glue. Take the next one. It's a 45-degree angle. So that runs down, Yeah, 2. Now 3 and 4, I don't sort of affix as much, so I put them into place. 3 and 4 because I want them to meet properly. But you can see there's number 4. Get it in the right place.
You can't get this wrong either, can you really?
You just
You'd have to struggle
ease
to get this
those. Wrong. There we go. So there is a perfectly square frame.
That beautiful.
But if the die didn't cut off that, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So then all you have to do, if you want to, you can then use some square nesting dies or your rules, your board and your knife to cut yourself some frames.
It's gorgeous. How grand does that look?
Exactly. And again, I would. So I have a little centre. I will show you at 8 o'clock how we make this centre. But there we go.
Love it.
I haven't glued it together, so I can't hold it up, but that's all just using the Belgravia corner and the border.
That's gorgeous. More of that to come at 8 o'clock. It's so cool, isn't it? So many of you are checking out on this one as well. Remember, you can order after the hour as well. We will be back in an hour's time as well to show you even more. 168362 is the item number. All of those fabulous dies in that collection, and it's such a broad collection as well. I need to remind you of the happy hour as well before we go, because of course that is something that won't be around in an hour's time. Certainly not at the half price that it is right now. And this is your lovely open door die. There's brilliant. The reveal card die. This is beautiful, and I'm going to do a quick reveal before we go as well, because I absolutely love this. Hang on, I need to make sure it's
I think
the
I'm going to have
right
to let you take this card as yours, aren't I, really, at the end of this show?
I absolutely love this. It's just brilliant. Ta-da! I love the way the doors open. They're absolutely brilliant. And there's so many different versions of that you can make. How grand would that be? That's a card that you couldn't buy as well. I've never seen a card like that before, where the doors open as you open the card. That's worth the £12.49 alone just to make a card that you can't go out and buy. It's brilliant. 327323 is the item number. It is half price for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds. John, thank you. See you in an hour.
And we'll have a new happy hour as well at 8 o'clock. One every hour through all 5 hours of the ODS.
See, too good, aren't they? Too good. Please do make sure you check out your baskets. Please make sure you come back and join myself and John in an hour's time as well, because we have even more fun